Hello everyone. Well, if you watch my Christmas Day unboxing video, you may have seen me partially opening this Ovation 4-in-1 multifunctional vacuum cleaner. And there was no gift note because there was no option to provide one, but I have found out, so I can say my thank yous now, I have found out who kindly bought me this. So this has come from Mirko and Russ. I'll read what Mirko said under my Christmas Day unboxing video. If you haven't seen that, tune in for that, it's great. Hi Roger, Merry Christmas to you, Daisy, May, Molly and Mark, or is it Mark with a C? No, it's Mark with a K. The Ovation cleaner came from Russ and moi. You've mentioned a few times during your videos that someone had already let you know that they couldn't add any gift notes. You can see now and already gave the correct explanation why this was so. Hope you'll be having lots of fun, and though the cleaner may not be very fancy, I hope that you'll have lots of fun with it. Lots of love from Hythe, I hope that's pronounced right, Hythe in Southampton. Russ and Mirko, kiss, kiss, kiss. Thank you, Russ and Mirko, for the Ovation. Well, I'm sure it will be fun, and I'm sure it's not going to be boring, because I've never seen one of these until I was browsing Amazon. So this unboxing is going to be quite an interesting one for me, and I hope an interesting one for all of you too. Okie dokie, so all we saw on the Christmas Day video was a brief glimpse of the bag and a tantalising little look at the contents. So let's get it out. Ooh. Yes, let's. Right. Ooh. Now that is unusual. Now this is a machine similar to the VAX 6131. It's a 4-in-1 tub style vacuum, but it has some things that the VAX doesn't have. And this is one thing that the VAX doesn't have. It actually has a metal extension wand. Well, the VAX does, but this one actually incorporates, as you can see from the shape of it, it incorporates the solution tube into it, so you're not having to clip the solution tube to the extension ones like you do with the VAX. There should be two. Yes, there is. Let's pop that there. And they seem lighter than the VAX wands, and I'm assuming they just push in like this. There we go, look, you can see where they fit. So they push in together, join up, and the solution tube joins up as well. So that's that. Interesting, isn't it? This hose feels different. It's certainly shorter, much shorter than the VAX hose. I'd say it's probably about 1.5 meters this, or maybe even a bit less. This also, it's not built in, but it does incorporate the solution tube. It's sort of stuck on to the outside, and this end, that looks like the VAX end actually, but that end goes into the machine. And then we've got the handle, a little bit dusty. There we've got the handle, and got suction relief, and that's the other end of the solution tube, which I assume will plug in to the extension wand. I don't know if this comes with a upholstery attachment. I don't think it does, but yeah, it is certainly shorter than the VAX hose. Now what's next? Typical sort of plastic carpet and floor nozzle. Very familiar style to me, that. So it's an all plastic affair. No litter pickers either on this. You've just got the textured part. So probably not great for pet hair. And you've got a pedal. Brings down a brush at the front. Not too bad. And a squeegee at the back. You've got little wheels as well. There is a parking bracket. I don't know if that'll actually work on this machine, because this is a pretty bog standard head that would be found on many cleaners. So there's that. Next out is small nozzle. This is your upholstery nozzle. It's not too bad. It's better than those combined things, isn't it? You've got some litter pickers here. 2 velour strips for your pet's hair. Quite narrow, but that's not a bad little nozzle. Assume we'll get a crevice tool of some description. Normally you do. Ah, now here's the washing head. Now this is a bit like the washing head on the Vax. A little bit like it, although this does actually have a bit of agitation provided by this relatively stiff brush. Can you see that there, look? And judging by this looks like there's some very small holes all along here. That's where the shampoo comes out of. You can see the little solution tube up the back, which will connect automatically to the wand when you push it into there. And being clear, of course, you'll be able to see the dirt coming up. So yeah, it's nice that it's got a little bit of a brush, because the Vax one doesn't, unless you buy the optional spin scrub head. The standard Vax head, similar to this, just basically has the suction like this, although this seems to be a bit wider. Be interesting to see how powerful this is. I will be doing a full demo of this, of course, wet and dry. Ah, oh dear, never mind. It's one of these, folks. How many of these have I opened? A lot. They churn these out, don't they? This is one of those little toothbrush crevice tools, so use like that for your nooks, and you can pull out the brush, yeah, to clean your teeth with. So clean your teeth and use the suction to remove the plaque as you're cleaning. I wouldn't suggest you use it for that, but anyway, it is almost a sort of toothbrush size, isn't it? So it's one of those, but I expect I'll have to check. These look like 32mm possibly attachments, so it means you could use any regular 32mm nozzles with this. Possibly. Can't say for sure until I've tried. There's the machine, and at the bottom, pop that to one side, we've got the instruction book. So, Ovation instruction manual for the 4-in-1 multifunctional vacuum cleaner. HT675. Ah, thank you. We hope you're delighted with your new purchase. Read the instructions, keep them safe, remove all packaging before use. So yeah, there's no small upholstery nozzle for this, just the main carpet washing head. I wonder if that's for floors as well. It does, well, it just says cleaning solution / water floor tool. Well, it's got an 8-meter power cable, that's quite good. It says it's got HEPA filtration and a safety thermal cutout, and it's a 1600 watts. So appliances like this aren't included in the EU rules, the multifunctional wet dry type machines, so it is higher wattage. So anyway, it's quite a detailed book to go through, which I'll be looking at before I do a full demo. I can show you around the cleaner. Let's pick that up. I've got dropsy today, I don't know why. There we are. So it's about the same footprint as a Vax, but possibly lighter. Now, what I liked about this, and I think you may like it, it's got a see-through tank, so we can actually see, when I do a demo, we can see all the gubbins. When I do the shampooing one anyway, you can see all the gubbins going into the tank. So it gives you a visual indication. I'm assuming there'll be a float valve as well to cut the suction off, but it gives you a visual indication too. Look at that, of the max fill line. This, I can't remember how much it was when I added it to my wish list, but it was certainly cheaper than the Vax. I think it was about £70, so very competitively priced. Look at that, there's the solution tank on the back of this one. Gosh, it is interesting. I'm really interested by this machine. As I say, I've never seen it before. I was looking on Amazon and thought, oh, look at that. That seems good value. I'll pop that on my wish list, and maybe somebody will be kind enough to choose it. Right, that's the cable. So it does actually store on board the cable at the top there. It is one of those thin cables. you've got that clip, but it didn't seem to be clipping very well. So we can plug it in. I don't know if it's going to be off or on here. Now I'm assuming, yes, it does have a separate pump. The pump's not operational. It probably only comes on when the machine's on. Oh, there's the, yes, it will have. So there's the mains on-off switch here. Quite a large switch. And then the red switch is the separate pump. Now, I think it does, yes, the Vax you can currently buy, the 6131, does have a separate pump. So that's good. You do need a separate pump, really. And on this one, though, unlike the standard Vax, you have... That's a nice smooth knob. I was expecting it to be a little bit, I don't know, stiff somehow. I thought it was going to be a stiff knob, and when I touched it, it turned out it's got very nice smooth action. Now I think it'll be on minimum now if I turn it on. It's relatively noisy, but not excessively so. Right, it's on maximum now. Just check if it's got a soft start feature. No, it doesn't. Right, let's get down on the floor and have a closer look at this. So here's the cleaner. Now Mirko said it's not very fancy, but I would disagree with you there, Mirko. All right, it's not. Well, is a vacuum cleaner fancy? A lot of us might say certain vacuum cleaners are fancy, but I think it's interesting and different, and that's probably better than being fancy, you know. So here's the tank at the back. I've had a quick scan of the instructions, and obviously there's no shampoo with this. So, and it doesn't seem to recommend any shampoo, but as long as it's meant for an extraction machine, so you'll be able to use Bissell, Vax, Rug Doctor, the Astonish stuff. That's apparently quite good. You can buy the Astonish machine carpet shampoo from the likes of Home Bargains for about £1. A lot of people say that's good, but make sure it's the non-foaming one, because I think they used to certainly do a foaming one. You want the non-foaming, as long as it's suitable for a 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 type machine. So here's the tank. I don't know the capacity. So that's the thing. I think it comes off. That's it. I don't know if it says on it. I'll look at the instructions a bit clearer. There's no sort of markings. So it might be a case of me having to use a measuring jug and finding out exactly how many litres of water this holds, and then I can work out how much shampoo. So you're obviously going to have to go by the dilution rate on whatever shampoo you choose to use in this machine. So it comes off. Take it to the sink to fill with warm water, I'm assuming, from the filler. You can put your tap on there, and of course with the correct amount of shampoo, and then pop the top back on. And I always, all machines like this, there is a hole in the top there, which is obviously for a reason, but cover that with your thumb and just swirl it about like this, just to make sure that the shampoo is diluted well into the warm water. There's also a blowing function on this one, which is a bit unusual. Look, so behind here there is a sponge filter which you can wash, but now you can connect the hose. Let's grab it and check. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So you can connect the hose to the exhaust and use the machine for blowing. Let's turn it on. Yeah, it's a good blowing action. It's not too bad noise-wise. And obviously make sure, after you've used it for blowing, you pop the little cover back. That is good, isn't it? So there's clips either side here. Let's put the tank to one side. That's it. So here, I don't know how robust this tank will be being clear. I probably wouldn't bash this about, to be honest. You've got 4 casters. There's no assembly, is there, on this? You don't even have to put the casters on. So you've got the 4 casters. I expect to be fairly stable in use. You've got the weight at the back when the container's full of the solution. You'll have the weight there. You've got a max fill line, which is pretty low down on the tank. And of course, when you use it as a dry vacuum, you will see the dust bag, won't you? Because I'll have to find out. Now this, I think this is from a company called For Your Home. 4 with the number 4. Because that's on the instructions. I'm sure you'll be able to get bags. It's a shame there's only one. I think a lot of people might just use this for wet use. There is a little slot in the front. I don't know if it's that way. I'll check all this out before I, or is it that way? Before I demo it. I might see if I can demo it a bit for you. So the bag fits in there, look. You've got big close and open to show you which way it goes. Here's the motor unit then. Now this says it's got a HEPA filter, which the VAX doesn't claim to have. And you've got the float valve, I'm assuming, because I heard something moving. You've got the float valve in here. So you can open this up for cleaning. There we are. That comes out. Let's have a look. So the motor is under there. And we do have a pleated filter, which you can rinse under the tap. And there's another open close. Or is that the... No, that is another one. Yeah, there we go. Then you've got a fine sponge filter there, look. Trying to get it so you can see it. I can't, that's better. I can see what I'm doing. I was upside down. There's the float just inside there. That can come off for cleaning. And then there's the HEPA filter at the top. So you do not get a pleated HEPA type filter with the VAX. So, but of course there's no energy label on this, so we don't know what the filtration efficiency of this cleaner is. And I don't have the sort of wherewithal to find out. Now close. So that's there. So having these 2 filters should ensure that you shouldn't get any water anywhere near the fan like you can with a VAX. Have I done that right? You see, this is a very new cleaner to me, and I've only just briefly looked at the instructions. Hang on, there we are. Is that the way up it was, folks? It must have been. Yes, it was. It was that way. Just have to line it up. Oh, there we go. Right, that's lined up. So I'm assuming that's how you'd leave it for wet use, for wet pickup, for spillages, and for shampooing. You'd leave all these filters in place. I've just checked the instructions again, and they actually recommend a Qualtex shampoo, but as I said, any shampoo suitable for this type of machine will be fine, providing you dilute it according to the bottle. Now I will have to, as I said, I will have to determine, because I'm not sure, it might say in the instructions, but I'm going to have to measure out, I think, see how much solution it holds. So to set it up for carpet shampooing, basically you make sure that the bag isn't in place. You leave this unit in place, which contains the HEPA filter, the foam filter, and of course the float valve. That's very important that that's in there. Then we pop the motor unit onto the tank and then clip the 2 clips. And next thing we need to do, of course, is attach the hose to the front, not the blowing end. We want it at the front here. That's it. Hang on, let's make sure I get it in right. It's a twist fit. There are 2 lugs. It does say close, open, but oh, there we go. It is a bit stiff. It's brand new. So you turn it to the closed part, and then this end of the solution tube, there's a little hole just at the top above the hose inlet. So you just push, and I think it's like a push and twist action as well. So push it, and that you twist that one. That goes clockwise. So that's locked into position. So I'm assuming that when the actual tank is full, it does connect up Can you see there? Look, there's a little connector there. So that connects actually to the tank through that hole there. So you have to ensure, of course, that the tank is on properly. If you're having trouble with solution pumping through, it probably will be the tank's not on right. So you need to fill the tank with the warm water and the correct amount of solution, and then pop it on the back of there. I might as well try this out. Now, it's not going to be a dramatic demo. I'm going to use it on the dirtiest mat in my house, which is my entrance mat, but I cleaned that maybe 2 weeks ago with my upright Bissell, so I'm not expecting it to be filthy, although the dogs have been trailing in a lot of muck of late, so we might still get a result. So there we go, that's attached, pretty manoeuvrable. And then we've got the wands. It's a little bit of residue of something on that, but I'm sure that will come off. A bit of a buff. Right, so which way does it go? Let's take the floor washing head. You see, this is a similar principle to the Vax, but Vax can't complain. It's not a direct copy. It's got quite a lot that's different to the Vax. No, it's obviously this way, isn't it? So this is the way it goes in, and you have to make sure you line up. You see the little tube there? That's better, you can see that. The tube there, you need to line it up with the raised part of the wand, so obviously the solution will flow through. So, and it's got that little, make sure that that's, you see if you lose that tiny little red O-ring, it'll leak. So make sure that's in place, push it together. Doesn't lock, but it is a firm fit. So that's pushed in, and obviously we've attached the other wand. Then we need to put the handle on. So that just pushes. I can give that a bit of a twist to make sure that that's in place. And then finally, just got to connect the solution tube just to here at the top of the upper extension wand. So the setup for this is much easier than the Vax, because you don't have to clip this hose, obviously, because it's already attached, and you don't even have to clip the solution tube to the wands. It's all there for you, so as long as it doesn't leak, it's fantastic. Now, I've just realised though, I think the only way of controlling the flow is there a switch. I don't think there's a switch, you know, on here. On the Vax floor head there is a foot operated switch, so you can turn the flow on and off. I'm assuming, I'll confirm this before the end of the video, I'm assuming the only way of turning the solution flow off using this machine is actually turning the pump off. So once you'll know when the pump's operating, actually we can quickly turn the pump on. Now I couldn't actually see if the light was illuminated because I've got very bright lights on at the moment. If I was to turn all my lights off now, because it's winter in the UK, it would be very dark, you'd hardly see a thing. So I've got quite a lot of artificial lighting. So I couldn't see if that illuminated the pump, but I could hear the pump going. Don't run the pump dry. You shouldn't really hear the pump, it shouldn't be so noisy. Once the water's pumping through it, it shouldn't make such a noise. I'm assuming you could use it on max. Anyway, I'm going to measure out how much water the clean tank takes, so I'll be able to tell you for future reference if you decide to get one of these. And then I might as well just give it a first initial go, because I'm sure you'd want to see it in action, but I will be doing a full demo of this. I'm going to have to dirty up an old carpet, aren't I, to see if it's very effective, but we can soon see if it's going to get any dirty water out of my entrance mat. Okay, the next thing to do is fill this up, and we'll set it in motion. Okay then, so I've determined that the clean water tank holds approximately 3 litres of cleaning solution. So I've filled it up with warm water and I've used the correct amount of solution. Now most carpet shampoo solution bottles will give you the dilution rates per litre. So this is 3 litres, I'm using Vax solution for this particular demo, and Vax say 40 ml per litre of clear water. So my maths isn't very good, but that equates to 120 ml of Vax solution per full tank on this Ovation. So as I said, it's filled up. I need to pop the tank back Make sure it's properly located at the bottom. Then you push it forward and it should click into place like that. Now, the instructions aren't very clear for what you actually do for carpet washing. All it says is you turn the motor on first and then the pump. It doesn't really give you any technique into how you actually use the machine. It doesn't say about drying, how to dry the carpet either. So what I'm going to do is use the machine with the pump going and go over an area, say, well, this is only the mat I'm doing, so I don't have to really concentrate. I could do most of the mat in one go. So I'll go over the area using the suction and the pump flowing, go over slowly, see what I can pull out. But to get the maximum amount of moisture out of the carpet, I think it's best to go over without the solution flowing. So the only way of controlling the solution, whoops, is to turn the pump on and off. There's no trigger on the handle or on the unit itself, on the actual washing head. So it's all ready to go. So this is going to be my first attempt at washing this. So basically I'm going to pass the nozzle. Because this is a rubber-backed entrance mat, I might have to reduce the suction on the handle, I'm not sure. Or, of course, I can reduce it using the electronic speed control. But I'm going to use it on max to start with. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the solution will start pumping through pretty quickly. So that's my entrance mat cleaned. The suction on this Ovation was far too powerful on maximum for me to move the nozzle, so I had to turn it way down, almost to the minimum setting, before I could move the nozzle. But because this is a rubber backed, there's no way that the air can flow through it, so it was very difficult to push. It's still done a job of cleaning though. As I'll show you, I can see the dirty water in the tank, so it has cleaned this and it's left it relatively dry. When I do a full demonstration of this, I will be using it on a regular carpet and possibly an area rug as well. Before I end this video though, let's open up the top of this machine and see the dirty water. Before I can remove the motor unit from the cleaner to show you the dirty water, I need to first remove the solution tank at the back. Put that to one side, and I also need to disconnect the solution tube at the front. So this time it's anti-clockwise to release it. And of course, if I was to empty this now, I'd have to take the hose off. I'm just going to show you the dirty water. So undo the two clips, lift off the motor unit, and as I said, it's less than 2 weeks that I cleaned this entrance mat, and I did thoroughly vacuum it before I actually shampooed it with this Ovation. And I think you'll agree, that's quite a lot of dirt from quite a small entrance mat, to be honest. So that's about the end of my unboxing, assembly and brief demonstration of this Ovation 4-in-1 vacuum cleaner. Thanks again to Mirko and Russ for kindly buying this off my Amazon wish list. It'll be interesting to see how it fares during spring cleaning, because as I said, I'll try this out on my living room carpet and see what sort of results I get. But it seems, initial reaction, it's a good budget choice if you want this kind of vacuum cleaner. Can't say anything about the long-term reliability though, but it'll probably last as long as a similar Vax machine. If you want one of these, you can go to amazon.co.uk, or I believe the website For Your Home with a number, For Your Home. Try that website. because I think they sell it there too. So if you have any questions or comments, please ask below, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.